So I just made this compost bin, or container, I guess you could call it. We got this pallet from when we are redoing our bathroom. All the tiles came on it. And this one I got from Facebook Marketplace. A woman was giving it away for free, and it's in very, very nice condition. It's very heavy and the perfect backing for this project. And then as we were picking up this one, me and my mom, we were driving, and there was a guy working on this house, and so we stopped and asked him if he needed the pallet. It was just up against the house and not being used, and so he gave it to us, and then he's like, do you want this pallet as well? So we got this half pallet for the front of it. It didn't go all the way, so I guess we could just use this as a pathway. Since it is not a store-bought composting bin, we will have to manually stir the compost, which is what this little pathway can give us room for. But yeah, I built it in like a very short amount of time. All it takes is some screws. I did put screws, one here, one in the middle, one here, one in the middle, and then one on the top and bottom here. I might go back and put some corner anchors just to make sure that the boards are secure to each other. And I just laid it on on the ground back here. This is the shed. It's in our backyard, easy access. I'm a little nervous for how much this is spaced out. If we come to find that there's too much space here, I will put some more boards in. So we have started collecting stuff for our compost bin already. This is some shredded up paper bags. We got some food waste here. This is corn husks. I will probably go and clip them so it's more easy for it to decompose. Here is just a pile that we started of weeds, which can be decomposed, and grass clipping. The only thing that's in here that shouldn't be in here are sticks, but I will probably take those out when I am churning the compost. And also I will go ahead and clip up the larger pieces of weeds. Here's also a just garbage bin that we've been collecting of, again, grass clippings, weeds. In general, the items that you compost are split up into two categories. The first one being green items. So these are items that are high in nitrogen, such as grass clippings, fruit or veggie peels, and coffee grounds. And these are also going to be known as the wet items. And then the other category are brown items, and these are high in carbon content. So leaves, sawdust, cardboard, paper, and straw, those can be considered brown items, and these are going to be more dry. When you make your compost pile, you want to layer it so that the overall moisture level is not too wet or it's not too dry. And the compost that I'm starting today has a lot of green materials, which means that I'm just going to have to add a lot more brown materials in later to keep the moisture level where it needs to be. Because my compost is just starting out, I am going to avoid citrus peels and eggshells because these are items that will take a while to break down in new compost. In general, you want to avoid things such as onions and garlic peels because they will make your compost smelly. Twigs and branches are items that will never decompose, which is why you don't want them in your compost. You also want to avoid meat and dairy products and cooked food because these will attract animals and make them want to dig through your compost, which is not ideal. And you don't necessarily need a compost bin at all. You could just layer all your materials somewhere in your yard and just mix it whenever you need to. A compost bin just keeps everything contained. And then the reason that I clip all the big items that I'm putting into my compost bin is just to help them decompose easier and faster. I have also been collecting coffee grounds. I just did not have a big enough stash to put in the compost at this time. And then I just put a little bit extra grass on top of the brown stuff so that none of it would get blown away. And then I just tried to incorporate everything. So one thing I did want to mention is that this is not all the way to the edge of the shed, and that is because we want to have good airflow. So, I mean right now, just a little bit has come out of the sides, but it doesn't look that bad. So this is the start of our compost.